I said no to my brother's toxic best friend at my wedding. My brother is 29 and has been with Leah for about 2 years. We all like her. She's super nice. I am getting married next April and send an invite to my brother's apartment. We decided to send invites to households and not individuals. For example, our aunt received an invite for her family and not for each individual. Last Thursday, we met at my parents' place. It was just the core family because of some tax reasons. While there, I asked my brother about Leah's dietary restrictions. I know that she is a vegetarian for health reasons and that she cannot have certain raw vegetables. He said that she wasn't going to come and that he was taking his girl best friend, Amanda, instead. Now, their relationship is weird. Amanda has always been stringing my brother along, in my opinion. He always denies having feelings for her. But let's be real here. Amanda would date other guys, blow off my brother, then when things were on the decline with her partners, she would be attached to him again. Her last boyfriend broke up with her right around the time my brother, his then ex-girlfriend Amanda, and her ex were supposed to travel to Spain. What did my idiot brother do? Go with Amanda alone because Amanda was uncomfortable with his ex-girlfriend. Obviously, he acted blindsided when his girlfriend broke up with him. I didn't even say anything anymore because it's all so weird. So, when he said that, I asked if Leah already had other plans. But my brother said that Amanda had asked if she could come because it would be an opportunity to finally see the old gang. We were in the same friend group in high school. I told him that I would have invited Amanda if I wanted her there. Amanda is mean and cold. She always makes disparaging comments about other girls. At every event, around 1 hour in, she will make some sort of scene that either has her running away crying or sitting mad at a table telling everyone to leave her alone, and then making a cryptic comment about something hurting her. I told my brother I was revoking his +1 and Amanda was not coming to our wedding. He accused me of being misogynistic and bigoted because I don't understand opposite-sex friendships, which is BS. My husband has a female childhood friend who is his best woman. I love her too, and she has been amazing. And she respects fucking boundaries. She always includes me and made a huge effort when I started dating my fiancé to integrate me into the friend group. Anyway, I said my decision was final. He could take it or leave it, but I would be inviting Leah myself because I like her. He screamed at me and told me to keep out of his business. I said to get rid of his weird fucking feelings for Amanda. He is mad at me. My dad said is none of our deal. My mom is furious with my brother. So Ida? Edit, to answer some questions, the invite was addressed to the Smiths. Funnily enough, Leah had the same last name as us. Granted, we have one of the most common last names. Yes, they live together. The tax thing is nothing huge. My parents have a small busyness but are really bad at keeping track of all their receipts. So every month we go and help them. We digitalize the receipts and put them in a bookkeeping software for the account and update one. I listen to 2 hot takes every day on my commute, so it was a huge surprise when you responded to my post. Thanks for your insights. Regarding the invitation, I now realize I shouldn't have phrased it as inviting a single person. I thought inviting households would be cute and less pressure for guests. Lesson learned. LOL. Here's an update I'd like to share with you. After the confrontation, I didn't hear from Leah or my brother for about 2 days. During that time, Amanda reached out to me upset about my Reddit post. She called me an asshole and insisted that Leah is not the only special woman in my brother's life. She argued neither Leah nor I have the right to be selfish with my brother's time, asserting she existed before Leah or any of his girlfriends and would outlast them all. She ended with a presumptuous statement that she would surely see me at my wedding. I was fuming. I chose not to engage with her other remarks, but instead sent her a clear message. Hello, Amanda. You are not invited to my wedding. If you want to see the old gang, please organize a coffee date when they're all in town. Should you appear at the wedding, you will be escorted out, peacefully by staff or with police involvement. Please refrain from contacting me or my husband. Amanda responded with more emails, mostly vague threats and name-calling, and turned to Instagram to indirectly target me. She tagged me in posts, making my username small so people wouldn't notice me tagged, but would see it in my notifications. She also used an Ask Me Anything sticker on her Instagram story, where I'm pretty sure she asked herself leading questions. Highlights included questions like, what's the perfect outfit for a wedding? With a photo of herself in a dress captioned, this. But sadly, I'll never get to use it. And what is your pet peeve? Followed by a rant about nosy people who think they have the right to control others. She flooded her story with sad quotes about no longer having a girl's girl. She tagged me in every single one. Of course, I screenshotted them all, LOL. Some friends reached out when Amanda started spreading a different story, claiming I originally invited her but later disinvited her because Leah hates her, and pressured my brother to do the same. The cool part? Not one person believed her. Many of our old high school friends have cut ties with Amanda, and the few guys who still talk to her are more linked to my brother. They reached out to let me know Amanda was spreading rumors. The girls in the group blocked her after she vented to them, which led Amanda to start bombarding their phones. My brother panicked, thinking I'd started a campaign against her. Speaking of my brother, he called and texted me multiple times, furious that I excluded Amanda and even blamed me for any harm she might come to. He went as far as calling our mother, saying Amanda was depressed and threatening never to forgive me if something happened to her. My mom advised him to call for a welfare check if he was genuinely concerned because he, as an individual with no training, wouldn't be equipped to handle such situations. The biggest development is that my brother got kicked out of a shared apartment. Leah called me to say their relationship might not continue and that she might not feel comfortable coming to the wedding. I understood her decision and offered an open ear. We met for coffee, and she recounted their ugly fight. Without going into all the details, Leah didn't hold back. She made my brother read every single text out loud between him and Amanda and sent a copy to one of her male friends, who replied, "Leah, WTF, this is not okay." She used this as evidence that their interactions were, at best, inappropriate and realistically an emotional affair. When my brother begged her to stay, she asked him why, knowing he would always choose Amanda. He swore he wouldn't, but his immediate response to a hysterical call from Amanda about me bullying her proved otherwise. Leah left while he comforted Amanda in another room. Later, she texted him that he needed to move out while she was away. It's her apartment, and she didn't want to see him until certain conditions were met, cutting Amanda out completely and seeking therapy to address his unhealthy patterns. The fight spanned 2 intense days. Leah found solace in your podcast and the comments here. She described it as surreal, but helpful. She sends her greetings and wants people in similar situations to know a few things. Don't fear being alone, because being with someone who's not good for you will make you feel lonelier than being single. Never enter a relationship with I can fix a mentality, as it usually ends in heartbreak. Prioritize yourself, and while trying to work things out is noble, don't depend on it as the solution. That's pretty much it. It sounds convoluted like a soap opera, but my day-to-day life has surprisingly been calm. I think my brother really needs to mature and either commit to Amanda or realize he's being strung along. And to Amanda, please grow up and leave me alone. We got a call yesterday night. He has been in a car crash abroad. My father and I are on the way there. Getting plane tickets was almost impossible, so we've been driving since 5 a.m. He was on a holiday with Amanda to clear their minds. Amanda didn't even call us. I don't know if she is still with my brother or if she is also hurt. My brother's phone was shattered, so he can't update us. The nurse, bless her soul, has been updating us. He can't even talk to us. I think I'm just writing because I don't know what else to do. My dad doesn't want to talk. I don't know if he is mad or worried or both. I have never seen this expression on his face. My brother is an idiot who would hurt a bunch of people because he is selfish, but I still don't want him to die. He is my brother. Thank God he is alive. Amanda is not here. This has been an absolutely terrible week. My brother is alive but not doing well. We're stressed out of our minds because of the insurance situation. He and Amanda went to a country that's not part of the European Union, and of course, he didn't book any travel insurance. So we have to pay up front and hope his insurance will refund us. But we all know how that goes. If they owe you money, you might see it in 818 business months. My mom and Leah are trying to figure that out too. Amanda came to the hospital yesterday. She hadn't left. She just had to go to the police because of the car crash. The reason my brother is in the hospital is not because of the crash, but because of sepsis, a UTI turned kidney infection turned sepsis. They decided to go on vacation to blow off steam. Around 4 days in, my brother started feeling warm and sick. Amanda said she offered to drive him to an ER, but he declined. I'm not sure if she's telling the truth, but this is the first time I've seen her being genuine. They went out drinking, and when they came home, he took something for the pain. Amanda couldn't tell me exactly what it was, but she said it worried her because you're not supposed to mix medication with alcohol. They started arguing, and then my brother passed out. I don't know why she didn't call an ambulance. She couldn't explain it to me either. But when my brother came to, she loaded him into the car. Amanda said she panicked, and when they were arriving at the hospital, she crashed into a barrier. That's when my brother's phone, which he was holding, flew out of the window. Amanda decided to run into the clinic to get someone and stay with the car until the police came. After that, they didn't let her in because she's not family. Instead of calling us immediately, she went back to their Airbnb and told me that she just needed a moment to process everything. She had to go to the police, pay for the damage, and then went to see my brother. But here's where it gets frustrating. Amanda decided that she needed to clear her head and left my brother in the hospital alone for a day. She checked into a nearby hotel to rest. She didn't tell any of us where she was until she showed up at the hospital yesterday, looking somewhat relaxed and acting as if everything was under control. When we confronted her about leaving my brother alone, she said, "I just needed some time to get myself together. It's been overwhelming." Meanwhile, my brother was lying in a hospital bed in a foreign country, with no way to contact us because his phone was shattered in the crash. We're now trying to navigate the logistics of getting him home and ensuring he gets the medical care he needs. Amanda, on the other hand, seems more concerned about how this whole situation is affecting her peace of mind. She even posted a photo from her hotel room with a caption like taking a much-needed break. It has been a nightmare, and Amanda's behavior, while not super malicious, has added to the stress. We're doing everything we can to support my brother. My brother, on the other hand, is struggling physically and emotionally. He's worried about the mounting medical bills, his recovery, and the strain this situation has put on our family. On top of that, he's afraid that Amanda is losing interest in him, which only adds to his anxiety. That's why we're playing nice with Amanda to avoid adding any more stress for my brother. We're focusing on getting him the best care possible and bringing him home safely. Now, story 2. Fiancé and mother had an affair behind my back, resulting in my brother, forcing me to confront them and leave them both behind. My fiancé, 25 male, and myself, 24F, have been together since we were 17 and 18 years old. Honestly, he was always kind, handsome, funny, and everyone used to say I was so lucky to have the whole package. I felt so lucky too. He always treated me with love and respect, so this makes everything just so shocking for me. I have always had a good relationship with my mom. It has always been her and I against the world. My dad died in an accident when I was little. We always joke we are the real-life Rory and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. My mom dated guys on and off, and they were usually cool, but nothing really past the early stages. Around 4 years ago, my mom told me she was pregnant, which was a huge surprise. My mom was around 42 years old, and although she was sort of dating someone recently, didn't meet the guy but knew she went on dates, it still was a big shock. She never thought she could be pregnant at her age. She had me when she was soup, or young, and oopsie, and I can tell she was stressed and worried. I decided to support her, since she has always supported me and tried to reassure her. She then had my brother, who is now 3 years old. I have a close relationship with my brother. I have helped taking care of him since he was born, and I just love the little guy. My fiancé was also always helpful with my brother. We would take him out for ice cream, playground, pool time during summer, etc., but nothing was weird. He was just my then BF spending time with my brother and I, now to the how I found out. My fiancé and I lived together since we finished college. My fiancé was not at home since he was hanging out with friends, but I was home BC. I didn't feel like going out and just wanted to chill on my sofa. At some point during binge watching a series on Netflix, my laptop died and I was too lazy to go get my charger, so I just took my fiancé's iPad. I know the password, but honestly never used it before. The iPad logged in, and I got a bunch of messages pinging. I guess he hasn't used it in a while too. Anyways, this got my attention, and I went to check it out, and OFC, I found everything. My mom's number wasn't under her name, but I recognized the number and verified it with my phone. She was telling him she felt guilty and that I should know. He said he also felt guilty, but couldn't lose me, and they backslashed it up. She said that it was unfair for my brother to never not know his dad, and that if he could live having his son around, not behaving like a dad, but a brother-in-law. I broke down. What the actual F? There weren't a lot of older messages, just some photos stored of my brother as a newborn, my mom pregnant, and more photos of my brother growing up in an album. I couldn't anymore. I cried for what it seemed ages, and I wait for my BF to come back home. I wish I was one of those women that can pretend and get things together before confronting the cheater, but I can't. He came back later that night, RO, UNT 2330, and I just gave him the iPad with the conversation opened and saw his face completely go pale. I asked for an explanation. When, how, why? And he didn't want to at first, but knew he had to. Apparently, a few years back while I was traveling with some friends, girls' trip, my fiancé and mom had dinner together. This isn't strange since he has been part of the family for so long. Sometimes mom and fiance would eat together at our place, even if I was busy with sports or out. I did the same with his parents. Somehow, unclear how, since he couldn't explain it well, one thing led to another, and they ended up sleeping together. They felt guilty, but apparently not guilty enough. BC, they slept together 3 more times, using the excuse of meeting up to discuss how to tell me. Apparently, when my mom got pregnant, they stopped sleeping together and decided to not tell me, since my fiance loved me and couldn't lose me, and my mom didn't want to lose her daughter. So here we are now, with two of the most disgusting humans. I obviously broke the engagement, told my mom to never talk to me again, and move in with a friend. I feel bad for my brother since I really love him, but I can't be around him now. I just can't. I feel like it would remind me of all those times we talked about having kids. I would be his baby mama. Only baby mama. We talked about this future since we were 17 years old. So I want to puke every time I think how I was actually taking care of his child with someone else, while still having those dreams. I want to puke. Update 1. I was not expecting so much support. I'm still a mess, not gonna lie. But after reading the comments, I felt better, like a therapy mini session. So again, thank you all. To the update. As I was afraid, I was indeed confronted near my office this week. I knew this was coming, but thought maybe I had more time. My ex was the person to come find me. Yesterday, Wednesday, after finishing work and walking to where my car was parked, my ex was sort of lingering, waiting around. I thought about running, not gonna lie, but I guess in the moment I felt strong enough to get over with it, instead of having that hanging above my head waiting to be approached again. He asked if we could talk, and I said yes, but I didn't feel like having that conversation over coffee like we were old friends. It felt ridiculous, so I told him to just talk right there. We were in the streets, but somehow it wasn't crowed, but also not completely lonely. Felt right. He basically said sorry 100 times, and that I deserved better. I agreed. He said he did love me and that he still does, but he would understand why I wouldn't want anything to do with him. He said that if I did in fact consider giving him a chance, that he would go to therapy, alone or together or both, and that he would work hard to win my trust back. I told him it wasn't possible. There was too much damage. This sounds calm when I type it, but in the moment, things came out more with louder tone and harsher words. Anyways, he did say that he is in the OR will be. It was a bit of a blur. Process of getting custody, partly from my brother, and that he in fact does want to be a dad to him. He said he does not want to be together with my mom, that it was just a stupid mistake, sure. BC 4 to 5 times mistake is just a random thing. He couldn't explain why he did it in the first place. I think he doesn't even know himself. I asked if he cheated with someone else before. He said no, not sure if to believe it, but he sounded honest. I asked why he didn't come clean, and he said that after he did the deed, he always felt panicked, and it hits him that he could lose me, and he just didn't want to. I told him it was meant to be found out. That what was his plan? To have my brother around and ignore their relationship forever? He said he didn't think far enough, and that he was basically going with the idea one day at the time type of survival. I asked him if he felt that my mom said Jake at him. He said it was mutual, which made me want to puke again. I asked if he has any contact with my mom since I found out. He said yes, but mostly about my brother, didn't elaborate more, and I didn't press for more info on that. He said he told his parents the day before or the day before that, not sure, moan, Tuesday, about everything. The parents were not happy, but they are glad to start building now a relationship with my brother, their grandkid. Honestly, all of this felt like a punch in my stomach. I don't know why. The parents wanted to contact me, but he told them to wait till he approached me first, hence why he was here. I said if he started or thought about the custody before I found out, and he said no. But what I found out was like the push he needed. Great. Seems I helped him get his shit together. Ugh. And this past week he was arranging all of that mess. That's why he hasn't tried to see me before. He sounded and looked defeated, but the whole thing made me, besides sad, angry. I was mainly depressed before, but now I'm furious. I feel like he is still in an okay place and he isn't paying for his actions beyond me leaving him. He will have my brother, his parents, and others and move on with his life. While I lost everything, I hate him. We parted ways not on a happy note, and I told him to never get near me again. I was done. He asked me to see my brother still, but I was important to him and tried to guilt trip me, and it worked. But I still think I can't. I don't know much about my mom, and really hope she doesn't come find me anytime soon. BC, I'm fuming right now and won't be able to handle it. I will be contacting my family and friends and finally doing the blasting today. I think it's about time, and after my talk with him, I got the extra push I needed. Update 2, I first posted on my family's FB group we share. This is from my mom's family side. I used inspiration of what you all suggested in my last post and said something Arun. The lines of, I want to communicate to you all that my wedding with X has been permanently canceled, since I found out that my mom, name, and my ex name had in the last few years a sexual relationship which resulted in the birth of my little brother name. I had no clue of any of this, and I found out about it last week. I won't have moving forward a relationship with name, mom, and ex name. For obvious reasons, I would appreciate your understanding, and I felt it was only fair to let you know of the situation. Since I value transparency, and honestly above all, I also included a screenshot of my mother's message. What I said to her once I found out, and a message she managed to write back before I blocked her, didn't open the message till before the blasting. I didn't want to hear read her and be persuaded. It exploded. I had family reaching out via text and calling the whole day after the blasting. I would say most were very supportive, and I could tell they were just shocked. There were a few neutral and some suspicious that it wasn't the whole story, and maybe I misunderstood. My grandparents were in the maybe you misunderstood category, which it wasn't surprising since my mom is super close to my grandparents. And like I said before, my mom was always a good mom. So no red flags. I will be moving with a cousin that is more like a sister to me. I haven't reached out to her previously, BC I knew. Once she knows everyone would. That's why I went to my friend's place. My cousin is devastated on my behalf and offered I live with her and her 2 kids until I can get my feet on the ground. I accepted and will be moving next week. I'm a bit afraid this will give my mom an easier access to me, but I can't stay at my friend's place forever. I then proceeded quickly to post a similar message from we share most of our friends since high school and local university, friends on Instagram. I created a close friend story and tagged most of them too. This went viral in our friend group. Actually, one of my friends sent me my Reddit post and asked if this was me. I confirmed. They were also shocked and speechless. They never thought my ex would even remotely do anything like this. They said he was crazy about you. Oh well, apparently he went overboard on the crazy part. The group of friends is divided ATM. Some are completely on my side and some are thinking it isn't the whole truth. I told everyone that reached out that if they don't believe me to ask their friend if he's asking for custody of my little brother. That kind of shut them up for now. My ex deleted his social media apparently. Also, my ex's parents called me like I guess they would. They were kind to me and were very sorry about everything. I got the feeling they are also overwhelmed and very disappointed. However, it was clear they will be supporting their son. They are very upset at my mother and don't want anything to do with her, but not sure how that will work with my little brother and everything else. They tried to give me info about the custody and what is my ex up to now, but I shut that down quickly and told them I don't want any info. I want to move on. I also asked them to not reach out in the near future, that I need a distance, especially if they will be supporting my ex. He is living with his parents, ATM. Also, my ex and my mother after the blast were going nuts trying to reach out to me. They tried calling my friend, who she blocked them, and reaching out from different numbers. I had to put my phone on silence and ignore everyone. However, my mother sent me a long text from another number, and that was a weird text. She said that I was being cruel and that she didn't think she raised me that way. She said she thought we had a better relationship than me, blasting out laundry like that without talking to her first, that I didn't have the whole picture. She did mention something that confused me. She said in her long-ass text, that the reason she slept with my ex is because he reminded him of my dad, that it was grief, that she didn't mean to use him to heal her pain, but she wasn't strong enough. I don't even know what that means. Like, did she think that my ex looks physically like my dad? Or personality? Or what? I have seen photos of my dad, and, well, yay, my ex isn't super different, but also not super alike. I mean, they share brown/dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. But that's not so uncommon. I don't see what else. I don't know. That threw me for a loop and honestly makes me want to confront my mom just to know what the hell. From all the things she could say, I was not expecting that. I'm holding on better. I don't cry every hour or want to murder them. But I'm still sad and upset and it just feels like it isn't my life. That is a big joke or a bad dream, and I will wake up to my normal life. I also need to really start planning my future and start applying for jobs in other cities, or maybe check the possibilities abroad more seriously. I might ask for 2-3 days off work to really get my thought together and do some research. I'm terrified, TBH. I feel frozen, but I know I need to start moving. Commenter number 1, that mom is hilarious. I thought I raised you better. I never in a million years thought you'd fuck my boyfriend, but here we are. Commenter number 2, my petty ass would be sending her that commenter number 3, right? The irony of her blaming you for airing laundry when she did that. Commenter number 4, the laundry wouldn't be dirty if you hadn't fucked my boyfriend on it. Thank you.